What's up, everybody? Welcome to WTF Boxing Talk. I am Ro, and I want to talk a little bit about the Benavidez Plant fight event that recently took place on Saturday, March 25th, 2023, in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Alrighty, so let's get into it. The fight card itself, the undercard, was a beautiful fight card in my opinion. I think there were great fighters on that card, and also great fights that night. Okay, the undercard started with Cody the Crippler Crowley versus Abel Ramos. As far as that fight, I didn't catch the fight, so I do need to watch that one. I was going to a bar to watch the fight, and by the time I pulled up and got in there, it was already round 12 of Crowley versus Ramos, so I missed that entire fight, but I plan on watching that soon so I can see what was going on there. I did want Crowley to win that fight, and he won the fight. When I got in there, the 12th round had just finished, and they gave the decision, or they gave him the win by decision. So I was impressed with that. After that, we had Chris Colbert versus Jose Valenzuela. That fight was interesting, quite a spectacle. That was the controversial fight of the night, and I did catch all of that fight. Colbert versus Valenzuela, I would say they need to run that fight back, right? Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. They need to run that fight back. Congratulations, Chris. That's all I gotta say on that. I am gonna watch that fight again as well. Gotta rewatch that. After the Colbert and Valenzuela fight, there was Jesus Ramos versus Joey Spencer. That fight was another interesting one as well. Interesting for me because it didn't pan out the way that I thought that it would have. I think that was a good fight as well. Ramos definitely dominated that fight. I didn't expect him to be that dominant. I'm not surprised, but I didn't expect that, only because I just thought that Joey would fare a little bit differently than he did. But yeah, Jesus Ramos, he dominated the fight. He imposed his will the entire fight. I think he was too much for Joey. I saw that Joey was trying hard. He was trying to hit him, got some good shots in, and some of them didn't even phase Jesus in that fight. So that being in that type of situation, I can imagine is, if not scary, I would say it's discouraging, but they fought it out. Jesus Ramos got that win. He deserved it. He was a powerhouse in that fight, so congratulations to him. Well done. And then after that was the main event, Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. Great freaking fight. I was going for Benavidez. Benavidez took it. I did not see Plant winning that fight realistically. I thought that Plant could win the fight, and especially with him having more experience. However, I didn't think that Plant would win that fight because Benavidez is fast, he's strong, he's tall and rangy, super aggressive, and he was very determined for this fight. And I just didn't see him not winning this fight. Shout outs to Caleb though. Caleb was very skilled, but I just felt like Benavidez would take it. Yeah, that fight was super impressive as well. I would say that David Benavidez, he also dominated that fight. He imposed his will throughout that fight. There's a lot of controversial stuff that happened in there. There was a lot of holding, a lot of grappling or grabbing on the part of Plant. I can't say I blame him, right? But he was holding a lot on that fight. There were some calls or lack of calls on the part of the referee, Kenny Bayless. So I think Kenny could have done a better job at some points with his refereeing of that match. But yeah, one thing that I did see as far as from Caleb's performance, he's a warrior. I will say Caleb is a warrior. He kind of reminded me of Deontay Wilder as far as just that warrior or that fighting spirit that Deontay showed when he fought Fury. I did see something similar to that in Plant. Not, I wouldn't say it was on that same level, but it was close to that. But yeah, Caleb definitely a warrior. I think he fought his heart out. So no shame in that loss at all. He did his best, but yeah, Benavidez was on point that night. He was on point, right? The holding was funny because again, like I said, I don't blame him. He did hold him a lot, and it was after he caught some big shots, or after he probably expected more big shots coming in. You know, he used those holds to his advantage. So that was something that happened a lot in that fight. But yeah, man, Benavidez was a dog. Congratulations to Benavidez. Great fight. And looking forward to what's next for him. I want to see him matched up against Canelo next. Charlo as well at some point. But yeah, great things ahead for Benavidez. But anywho's, thanks a bunch everybody for tuning in and rocking with me on this video. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. I do want to look at that Crowley fight and then rewatch the Valenzuela fight as well, so we can do separate videos on that and kind of get in details on what happened there. But yeah, thanks a bunch, and you guys come on back to the next one.